Oh, great. All
Okay.
right, so I'm Eve Scanlon.
And I'm Stephanie. Thank you guys for joining us here today. We're going to be talking a little bit about modeling by behavior. And we'd like to keep this, since we only have you guys for an hour and with some technical difficulties, a little bit less, more of a conversational style. So feel free to put questions in chat or raise your hand with a little icon. And so we could have a conversation about this, because I think that's going to be the most meaningful way to kind of get us started with how to be the best models we can.
And just to continue on that, just know that this is a compassionate space with empathy. There's no judgment in this space. So we're all ready to receive any sharing without judgment.
So we have a little outline up here for you just to kind of give you an overview of what our plan is to do. So we just did our introductions. Eve talked about our compassion. And so we'll do a little activity. So if you guys want to play along at home, go ahead and grab paper and pen. And it could be as interactive as you want it to be, or you could just sit back and listen.
So the activity that we're going to do today is really thinking of the child. Basically, how do we want our children to be when they become adults? What are the characteristics? What are the traits that we would like for them to have as adults? You know, we want them to thrive, not survive. And a lot of times what we end up modeling is survival. So how would you like your child to thrive in this world? What characteristics would you like them to have? And if you could write these down, that would be awesome.
We'll give you a little cheat sheet here that we have. There you go. And then I believe we could do it in chat, though I'm not seeing the chat bar. So you guys are welcome to speak it out. We hope we could type as you say, but we put in the most traits that we've heard overall just through our years of parenting. So feel free to yell out some other ones that might be missing, and it will start this conversation.
Stephanie and Aurelia, I will be monitoring the chat box. So everyone who's listening in today, I can stop Stephanie or Aurelia when appropriate to ask whatever questions you have, or to read out loud the comments that you leave in the chat box.
Great, thank you so much, Julia. So what are some of the traits and characteristics that you guys want your kids to have? Colleen.
I want them to have perseverance in knowing that although things might be difficult, that they have the power to reach out and find the resources to help them move forward and get out of difficult situations.
I love that. Perseverance is such an important trait. Awesome. Let's see if we could type it in here. We've not done this live yet. We haven't had a chance to practice. So I'm going to type that.
Celestine also said self-sufficient.
There we go. I'm trying. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Colleen.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to join in and give us another trait that's important to them or characteristic? Okay, feel free to join in. We're going to go over some of the ones we have on here so honesty. A lot of us really want our kids to grow up in an honest environment, learn how to communicate their feelings. Oh yeah, we have some extras here.
Somebody wrote brave.
Brave, I love it. Yeah, bravery is so important too, because when you are brave, you can withstand to peer pressure, you could resist bullying. So that's a wonderful trait to have and model.
Ooh, I have another one. I have someone wrote adaptive integrity.
Ooh, I love it.
Owning it.
Okay, let's see if we can type fast.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna let Eve type because she's faster than I am.
Okay.
But I love it. Adaptability. What was the other one, Julia?
Adaptability. You guys have brave. Someone put responsible.
Responsible. Wonderful. We might just add some of these together.
Great job, everyone.
Right, adaptability. How important is it to be adaptive, especially with COVID going on, and how many things we had to just up and change? And so how we model that helps our kids be able to roll with the flow as well. Yeah, integrity. Julie, are we missing one?
The last one says accepting responsibility, but I think that kind of goes more responsible, and accepting responsibility might be two different things.
Yes, you're right, Julia. I love it. Because we can be responsible, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to have that, you know, accepting when we're not so responsible, or at least acknowledging our piece into an issue. So yes. All right, we have some great ones in here. Does anybody want to add anything else? We'll just tag it on to something else. Anything, Julia? We're good?
I mean, for my own child, kindness, I want her to be kind.
Yeah, we have kind, empathy, and caring. Those are really big ones that we hear all the time, right? These are huge. And it's not always easy to be kind, empathetic, and caring. So, you know, we have some work cut out. Humor, courage and bravery often go together, right? They're great tools, because without courage and being brave, it's so hard to go against the grain, especially when a lot of kids or even adults, right, are doing one thing to stand up to that. So these are all wonderful traits that we all want for our kids. And okay, so let's go on. So hopefully you guys at home have added some more on your little sheet, and we're gonna start to work with these and actually put them in motion, and how we can use these traits in our own behavior to model what we'd like to see and how we'd like to support our kids. We'll spend most of the time doing that. So as a parent, we all want our kids to thrive in this world and be happy with their life path. So how are you gonna use this information that you've chosen to be an active trait in your children's life to support your new plan? Okay. All right. Here's the interactive piece.
Okay. So we're going to do self-observation. How is it that we can model these things to our children? In order for our children to become what we want them to be, we need to be the model. And that's where we really need to look at ourselves and see, am I being, you know, am I modeling respect? Am I being respectful? Am I respecting them? Am I respecting others? Do I respect myself? You know, these are traits that we want our children to learn, and we want to make sure that we are the model for them. A lot of times we basically tell our kids, hey, I don't want you to do that, and you shouldn't be doing those things, and don't do them because I do them and they're really bad for you. But that is not the correct model. In reality, our children will pick up what we're doing, not what we're saying. So we have to make sure that we're consistent with both things, that what we say is what we do. So that way our modeling is it cohesive?
Yes.
Cohesive. It's in line. So our child will pick up exactly what we want them to model and what we are saying. And this is where we start to look at our behaviors and our actions. So it is a self-observation. What do I model to my children? What am I modeling, you know, to my family?
So for those of you at home who have decided to play along, and you have paper and you have something to write with, these are some great foundations to start observing what we're actually doing in our life, so we can kind of do this investigation piece to see what we need to be adding. And this is where that self-compassion comes in. Compassion always has to be the answer. Sometimes when we do this self-observation, we're not so happy with some of the things we see. And you know, this is life, right? We're not robots. We weren't born with parenting manuals in our heads. So we get to kind of install these new skills with kindness. And
we practice as we go.
Right. Day by day. So yeah. Kindness and compassion for yourself always has to be the first priority, because that's what's going to carry you through. And it's really going to be what's going to let you learn these new skills so you can model them. if we get into a negative loop, that's going to, you know, take you a different path, and it's going to take you a little bit longer to get back. So whenever there's like, oh, I don't do that so great, you know, it's like, great. Now, you know, now we have some room for change, and that's always a wonderful thing to do, is make room for change. So we're going to go. Oh,
yeah, I was just going to share. And when we're doing that and we're creating that self-empathy for ourselves, we're also teaching our children to have self-empathy for themselves when they create mistakes, because no one is perfect. You know, we all fumble. And then when we have that self-empathy and say, hey, I fumbled, let me correct it, I need to redo it, our child will see what we're modeling, and they will also, I want to say, be brave enough to conquer whatever it is, you know, they're doing in life when they're not doing it so well. Okay, go ahead, modeling self-respect.
Okay, so here we are. We're on this first one. Can you guys see my cursor? I'm not sure.